Yes, people, iFootball here, and today we are rating and ranking Arsenal's full summer transfer window. I've given this a day extra just to make this video because I just wanted to let everything sink in because it has been an absolutely blistering summer transfer window. Deals all over the place, massive deals. Ronaldo, Messi, Ramos, Donnarumma, etc. Sancho, Varane, so many deals. I've given it a day to contemplate everything that's happened, and this is all of Arsenal's business. It's going to be quite a long video. I'm going to go through all the incomings, all the outgoings, and give my overall view on the transfer window, giving it a ranking out of 10. I'm also actually going to provide some of you guys' opinions on Twitter. I put out saying, give me your ranking for Arsenal transfer window, and a few people responded, so I'm going to go through their response. I'm actually going to start doing this more, asking you lot, because it can't just always be my opinion. So I'm going to put on Twitter, after games and stuff, maybe, what do you think of the game? And I'll include some of the fans' opinions on these videos. So yeah, I'm going to leave a link to my Twitter in the comment section, and maybe the description as well. So I follow back all football-related accounts, and yeah, we'll get that going from there. So I guess we start with the incomings. Actually, I'm going to start before that by going into the overarching statement of the transfer window. Arsenal spent the most money. Now, in a transfer window where Messi, Ronaldo, so two of the greatest players of our generation, Donnarumma, Ramos, Varane, Sancho, Griezmann, Saul, or how we pronounce his name, Saul, etc. All these players moving, Arsenal spent the most in that window. Now, if I didn't keep up with this window, I would have thought we'd at least sign maybe one or two of those players. But we've signed none of those players. We haven't even signed any real, starting players. So I'm going to start off with that. But that is amazing how those players have all moved and we've spent the least amount of money. Just shows what COVID has done to football and the fact that players are going for so cheap, and even on loans. There's a lot of loan deals and loan to buy, loan with option to buy, or what's the word where it's you have to buy. I can't remember, but you know what it is when it's obligation to buy. That's the one. Or just dry loans where it's just literally just a loan for a year. So yeah, now getting that out of the way, let's start with the incomings. I'm going to go in chronological order. Or should I? No, actually, I'll go with the order that it provides on here. I'm on transfermarket.com, which is an excellent site. I'll leave a link to it in the description. Where this is what I do a lot when I scout videos and stuff. I just look at their player profiles. I trust them a lot. So yeah, they've started with Ben White, age 23. I guess they're going in descending order of transfer fee. Our most expensive signing of the summer was Ben White from Brighton. 23 years old for a fee of £52.65 million. When this news first broke, way before we signed him, I was not a fan of signing Ben White. And at this point, bearing in mind, we hadn't even loaned out Saliba. So in my eyes, Saliba was still going to be part of the plans next to Gabriel. Of course, that changed. So my opinion on this transfer changes that change. As soon as we got rid of Saliba, I was like, okay, we need a centre-back. In my opinion, if I went back in time, I wouldn't even bought Ben White. I would have just let Saliba stay. But that's what Arteta's done. They have to base it off that. He's loaned out Saliba to bring in Ben White for 52 million. And look, the transfer itself, it's a lot of money for a centre-back. I feel like the English tax is big here. He is young, has a lot of time to improve, but I did see some alarming things in that Brentford game. He's short for a centre-back. I said it when I first saw him. I was like, wow, is that him? He's 6'5", 11", which is short for a centre-back. I want the dominating centre-back, 6'3", 6'4", maybe. He's going to get bullied in the air at times, which means he needs, obviously he can't get taller, but he needs to be smarter, which will come at 23, 24. He was used to playing in the back three with Brighton, so the adjustment to a back four next to someone like Pablo Mari obviously was it was tough for him, but he's got time to adjust, of course, still young, and under coaching I feel like he will be a good signing. It's not a signing I hate by any means. It's just not one of the greatest signings, especially when you look at other potential players. We could have got 52 million. You're going to Brighton, you could have got Basuma for 40 and you spend 10, 12 million more to get Ben White. Come on, man, it just doesn't add up in my books. But it's an okay signing. I don't hate the signing at all. Next, got Martin Odegaard, 22 years old as well. Young players we've signed, brought in. From Norway, of course, Real Madrid player, 31.5 million on a permanent transfer this time. We had him on loan last year from January, and he was decent, to be fair. I watched all the Arsenal games, and he's definitely a player that you need to watch rather than look at those stats. If you see the stats, you'll think he's average, but watching him, you see what he does with the ball, the way he links players. He's that transition from defence to attack, that midfield to attack link, and he does that absolutely excellently. So I think he's great. We signed him permanently. He was good at loan. Obviously, at loan, you can be amazing, but you know you're going back in 6 months, so I don't know how good you're going to be. But him being there permanently is a great thing. I feel like he can finally call the Emirates his home after literally he was at Real Madrid, but got loaned out left, right, centre. He went to Sociedad, I believe, for a season or two. So nice. I'm happy with that transfer. I give that one a good transfer. At first, when I saw the James Maddison links and saw we went to Odegaard, I thought, oh man, like, we could have got Maddison. But looking at how much Leicester wanted for Maddison, they wanted more than double what we paid for Odegaard. I think it is smart business, so I really like this one. Ramsdale in goal. Now, when I first signed this one, I was not a fan either, just like Ben White. I was like, why are we spending 25 on Ramsdale when we could get Onana for 10? But the more I've seen him like talk, and I saw him again, obviously in the West Brom game, I like him. Just something draws me to the man. Less about his football, just him himself. Of course, his football, he looks decent. He made a couple of nice saves against West Brom, playing the ball with his feet, and he's confident. I love seeing that in a football player. I love seeing confident football players. And yeah, I honestly, I wish him the best. And at 23, he's got a lot of time to improve. Obviously, he's got the glaring fact that he's been relegated at every club he's been in, Bournemouth, Sheffield United, for example. But look, I don't think we're going to get relegated this year. And he has a lot of time to improve, just like all the players. We've got very young players in the squad, all 23 and under. So, look, if Aaron Ramsdale is going to be competition to Leno, that's what we need. It will make him better. It will make Leno better, hopefully. Because when you have someone to compete with you, it forces you to up your game. Leno knows that if Ramsdale weren't here, he's not getting replaced by a Okonkwo or whatever, Carl Hein or Runarsson or anything like that. Like, he's the main man. So, having Ramsdale there means that Leno has to up his game because he knows that Ramsdale is literally going to be round the corner to taking over his spot, which is always nice. Then, of course, at deadline day transfer, Takehiro Tomiyasu. I released a video on him the other day. Did really well, so thanks for that. Yeah, decent. He's right back / centre back. Of course, he's much taller. I said in the video, remind me of Callum Chambers, which is true. He's a much taller player. There's a lot of things to improve on, but he's both-footed, which is nice. I don't know how much you really need as a right back, centre back. And I said in the video as well, I see him kind of as like the opposite to Kieran Tierney. Tierney's going to push forward and be the attacking player. I see him as like more of a defensive, probably going to slide across and make a back three when Tierney pushes high up the field. But yeah, decent sign. I just need to see him play, to be honest, because I haven't seen him play any games. Then Albert Sambi Lokonga, the 21-year-old, probably the most exciting player that I've seen in terms of the games he's played. And I've been really, really happy in what he's produced. 15.75 million, good amount of money for a 21-year-old. Of course, recommended by Arsenal, absolute legend Thierry Henry, and of course his manager and also legend Vincent Kompany at Anderlecht. So who am I to disagree with those two greats? And I liked what I see him play. I see he's definitely not ready to start for Arsenal. Definitely, in my opinion, he's not a starter. But as a player that can fill in for Thomas Partey, because he seems to be literally in the treatment room every other day, I like it. I think he's a great player. I think he's a player that we can definitely utilise at this football club. And if it means that he only plays bit part and in the FA Cup and Carabao Cup games, look, he's still 21, got plenty of time to improve. He can use Partey as a role model. I'm really happy with this signing. Then Nuno Tavares, 7.2 million, very cheap. Backup left back, which we knew we needed from Benfica. And look, I had low expectations when we signed him, I'm not going to lie. 7 million on a backup left back. Tierney's basically the first name on the team sheet. So unless he's injured, this geezer ain't going to get games, apart from the Carabao Cup. He's impressed me. Attacking-wise, he's brilliant. He's like another left winger. He just bombs, he dribbles, just runs at people. His defending hasn't really been tested so far for me to really make an opinion on it in terms of that. I feel like he needs to stop the crosses more. His one-on-one defending, I feel like he relies on his pace too much, which is worrying. And look, the game I saw him play was at West Brom's under 18s, their third or second team, so I can't really judge his defending on that. But his attacking-wise, his dribbling is really good. He reminds me of Alphonso Davies in that way. He needs to tighten up in his passing, a couple of stray passes. But for 7.2 million, and like Albert Sambi Lokonga, only 21 years old, plenty of time for Nuno Tavares to improve at this football club. And then, of course, the other signings, of course, Balogun re-signed his contract, which is nice to see. I love the geezer. I think he's going to be a great striker with time to come. Kolasinac back, we don't really care. Guendouzi, Lucas Torreira and William Saliba, that was literally end their loans. But yeah, now we're going to go on to... Actually, no, before we go on to the departures, we're going to look at this. So, we spent £149.04 million on transfer windows. That's excluding add-ons. So, about 150 million. The average age of arrival is 22.4 years old. So, you see the direction we're taking at this football club. Young players with resale value. In recent years, we've signed all these older players, 28, 29, 30. And by the time we go to sell them, like Lacazette, like Aubameyang, like Ozil, like Willian, they have no resale value. They're all old. We've taken a different step with this summer. We've gone for younger players that hopefully we can mould into a great team. Or, if it doesn't work out, at least we can sell them for more money in their prime. You lot won't remember this one. Very few will, unless you're much older than me. When Sir Alex Ferguson came into Manchester United, he had a tough start because he brought a lot of young players in. But when it clicked, when it all went together, absolutely amazing team. Like, look at the players he had. Look at the squad they had. Absolutely outstanding. So I guess we're looking for a similar thing. It's going to be slow with Arteta. It's going to be extremely slow unless we sack him. I'm not expecting us to literally pull up trees or like be the next best thing. It's going to be a slow process. But 22.4 years old, young players, blood them in. If they're not good enough, we sell. If they're good enough, they can be hallmarks for the team for years to come. And the total market value of arrivals is 168.75 million. So I guess you can say it's good business. We've paid less than their market value overall. So can't really complain on that fact. But 150 million is a lot. And as I said before, the most spent on all teams in the Premier League. Now we're going to go on to departures of players that have left the club. The most expensive one, Joe Willock. I'm sad about this one. £26.46 million is a good amount of money. For Joe Willock, I think we could have pushed 30 though. He had a great time at Newcastle last season on loan. I think he scored like in 7 or 8 consecutive games. As a midfielder, that's amazing. And judging by the fact that we actually need goals from midfield, we've gone on to sell him. That was Newcastle's basically their only business getting him. And look, it's sad to see him go as a Haaland boy, but not everyone's going to make it from Haaland. And we definitely, I feel like we should have signed another midfielder personally or keep Joe Willock, but we spent that 26.46 million basically on getting Ramsdale. So it is what it is. I wish him the best at Newcastle. I would have liked to see him stay if it was my personal opinion, but he's gone, and that's the way life goes, I guess. Lucas Torreira, he wanted to leave, and we got him out on loan, man. We're literally loan FC, just loaning players out. We buy players, but we loan them out. 1.35 million on the loan fee. I guess we got money now. I don't know. I can't remember if it's an option or obligation to buy, but going back to Italy, Fiorentina. Of course, like if that's it, I don't think he really felt comfortable at Arsenal. His first season he was amazing. I remember he scored a bicycle kick. I think it was against Huddersfield at home. Obviously, he scored that beauty against Spurs in North London derby 4-2 win. But he didn't really look settled since Mikel Arteta came in. Definitely was much better under Unai Emery. It was Unai Emery's signing, and yeah, he's going back to Italy. I thought he was going to go back to Uruguay or even like Argentina, back to South America. But he's ended up going back to Italy. Of course, we signed him from Sampdoria about 2-3 seasons ago. So yeah, best of luck to Lucas Torreira. I still do think he's a great footballer. It just didn't blend with Arsenal and Arteta. Willian free transfer. You know what? I could spend this whole video bashing Willian left, right, centre for being awful, can't cross a ball, no heart, etc. But he's gone, and look, I wish him the best. He literally gave up £20 million worth of transfer. He ripped up his contract, like financially. He left $20 million. Like, who does that? But he said he did it because he wanted to show that it wasn't for the money. And he's gone back to Brazil, to Corinthians. I believe that's his father's team or something. So I wish him the best of luck, Willian. I hold no grudges with him. It didn't work out at Arsenal, but yeah, I still do think he can do something in Brazil. He's old now. He's coming to the end of his career at 33 years old. He could just take it easy out in Brazil. Matteo Guendouzi, this is a tough one. We loaned him out. I think it's an option to buy as well with him. I really like Guendouzi. I really like him. He's a bit of a hothead, don't get me wrong, but I think he's a brilliant footballer. I love his box-to-box attributes. I love the way he can dictate the game defensively and attacking-wise. We've learned, of course, he had these struggles with Arteta, but I just feel like Arteta generally just can't manage personalities well, I find. I just find that as a manager, he obviously couldn't manage Saliba well. He literally left Aubameyang out of games sometimes because of his attitude and he's been late to training and stuff. So Guendouzi, he's gone. It's sad to see because I actually do like the guy. Of course, he's been saying like some stuff about Arsenal, which I hate to see. And if he has to go because of that, look, no player's bigger than the club. But I just feel like in another world or in another life, Guendouzi could have been a great footballer at Arsenal. Saliba, obviously, Arsenal fans' favourite centre-back is getting loaned out again. Like, this man will not get a chance at Arsenal Football Club. I said it before. Like, we're playing Kolasinac, Chambers and Holding, and Saliba can't get a sniff. I feel like I'm going to go literally talk about Saliba every day for the rest of the year. It's a really strange one how he can't seem to get any game time. Still 20 years old. Literally, if I could mould a centre-back, he would be my centre-back. I'll make 6'4". He's good with the ball at his feet. He's fast. He's lean as well. He's literally the mould of Van Dijk. Varane and Van Dijk. And you're loading him out to Marseille. But it is what it is. I'm hoping he can at least get game time next year, whether it's with Arteta or another manager. Dejan Iliev, to be honest, I knew he was a player for us, but There's not really much to say about him. I wish him the best in the Fortuna Liga with SFK. Serad, he's on loan there. Reece Nelson, obviously, deadline day left to Feyenoord in the Eredivisie. I think that's a good move for him. The Dutch league is very skill-based, very, very skill-based. So I think he'll fit in well there, not as physical. And yeah, I hope he does well for Feyenoord because I really do like Reece Nelson. Alex Renarson didn't really work out with him, to be fair. He's gone to Belgium on loan as well. We saw him in the Man City game. It was a bit harsh to play Man City, but just the way he was flapping with the ball, no kind of confidence in his game at all. A really bad signing. So, and at 26, is there much time for him to really improve on that? I don't think so. I think we just have to write this one off and go one of the bad signings. We should sell him next year, to be honest. I don't know if I think there's an option to buy, so hopefully that OH Leuven pick up that option. Hector Bellerin. So we waited till deadline day to get rid of Hector Bellerin, and it's only on loan with no option, no obligation to buy. So he's going to be back here next season anyway. He's gone to Real Betis, back to Spain. I think that's good for him. I think he needs to go to Spain. Of course, Hector Bellerin, he's Marmite. He's a great, in terms of, I feel like he could be a great footballer at another country. I just don't think the Premier League suits him. He loses out on physical battles a lot. I see flashes of him with brilliance, like running down, crossing it in, but it's just not enough and he makes mistakes. I think he needs to go back to Spain. He's got, of course, he's got the whole, market around him. Of course, he promotes the veganism. He's a great person off the field. I feel like going to Real Betis will give them kind of he provides more. He's more than a footballer in terms of he gives you the endorsements, etc. that comes with him, which is a good thing, but only on loan. I feel like we need to sell some of these players, man. They're all out on loan. We're not getting any transfer fees in. How comes when we buy players, we have to buy them and spend money, but everyone else we have to loan? I just look at Edu and just think, it's poor marketing. Really, really poor. David Luiz, of course, left. I wish him the best. Martin Odegaard, that's end loan. Ceballos, of course, he's not come back, and neither has Matt Ryan. So we made £27.81 million. The average age of departure was 25.3, so still kind of young, but the total market value was 176 million. So get this right, guys. For a market value of 176 million players worth of players we've sold / loaned out, we've made a total of 27.81 million pounds. Let that sink in. 27 million pounds when their market value was 176 million pounds. If I go up to Rivals, their market value was 168 million, so less than departures, and we paid 150 basically. It's like the negotiation from Edu, Vinay, whoever's in charge is awful at this football club. Awful. How can you do that? I know a few of them are on loan, but at least get a loan fee or at least sell for something. It's poor. It's really poor. But that's gone through. All our incomings and all our outgoings. I guess now I give my overall rating. For me, this transfer window is a 5 out of 10 for me. It's a middle of the road, 5 out of 10. And for me, it's one of the transfer windows where you can't really judge it now. You have to judge it in 3-4 seasons, 2-3-4 seasons, when all these players come in. I see the strategy. I see it. We spent money on young players, 23 and under, that are going to be good in years to come. The only problem is we don't improve the squad now. And I get this trust the process thing. People are saying, trust the process. It's going to be good in 2-3-4 years, whatever. But lads, just because we're getting better in 2-3-4 years, you think Man City ain't doing the same thing. You think Chelsea ain't doing the same thing. You think United, Tottenham, Liverpool aren't doing the same thing. Just because we're gearing for the future doesn't mean those teams aren't either. Just because Man City spent 100 million on Jack Grealish, you think they're not going to spend 100 million next season? Come on, man. You can't have all this. We're building a process because while we're building a process straight like this, other teams are going well above us like that. So I think there's elements of trust in the process as well, but I think there's other elements of, look, you need to improve the squad now while you're there because teams are catching up to us. You can already see the gap bridging. West Ham have got better. Aston Villa got better. Everton have got better. Leicester got better. Every team is literally fighting. I can easily see us finishing 10th this year, 10th, 11th, 12th. I can easily see it happening because the teams are catching up to us. We have a lot of ground to make up on the teams ahead of us, of course, and we have to bridge ourselves away from the teams below us. So yeah, I'm going to give this a 5 out of 10 for now, but of course we can see, we'll see in the 2-3 season whether this becomes an amazing transfer window or awful transfer window. I just look at the fact that United spent less than us, yet I would have way preferred their transfer window of Varane, Sancho and Ronaldo. Look at that compared to the players we bought in of of Ramsdale, Tomiyasu, Odegaard, Ben White, Lokonga, Tavares. It's good, but potential players. No one really improves the squad now. Odegaard improves the squad now, but we had it last season, so it doesn't really improve it from last season. Ben White, I guess, but we had Saliba, I wouldn't mind. Ramsdale, Leno starting ahead of him. Tomiyasu, okay, maybe. But, like, is he the best right back we've seen? Is he going to absolutely transform our defence? No. Lokonga, not really a starter. I think Partey is ahead of him. Tavares, of course, Tierney starts ahead of him. So no one really improves the squad now. But decent overall. Decent transfer window. So yeah, now I'm going to get into what other people think. Of course, in the comment section down below, your feelings of this transfer window. This video's dragged on a lot. So if I go to my account and go to the comment where I said the transfer window, ratings out of 10 for transfer window, I'm going to start with the Guna Gazette. He said a 7. It's easy to slag off short term, but these aren't short term signings. Lots of potential to look forward to. Got players we need to cut mostly, albeit for shameful prices. Would have been a great window if we could have gotten rid of El Neni and brought in Basuma. I agree with him here. Like I just said, this is very much a long term type of project. You can't judge a transfer window now. I think 7 is a bit high in my opinion, but you saw the direction we're taking at this football club. Sign in like young players now and see how they turn out. I agree that we did need another midfielder. That was a big miss. We definitely needed, and Bissouma would have been perfect. Bissouma, Alwar, someone like that. El Neni could still go to Turkey, of course, because their transfer window ends on the 8th of September, I believe. So who knows? But we definitely did need another midfielder. Nick says 4 out of 10. Basically replace mediocre players with mediocre players. Good things that all of them kind of super honestly have the potential to improve. I definitely agree with this as well. They are, like I said, young, potential to improve. I think 4 is a bit harsh considering we did spend 150 million. I know in transfer windows gone by, we barely break 50, 60 million. I remember in the Arsene Wenger days, he would barely spend any money at all. So we spent the money, to be fair. It's just whether we spent the money on the right players is the problem. And of course, a football king, 4 out of 10 max. So that's just been my opinion on the Arsenal transfer window. It's a long video. I was going through the whole thing, gave it a day, contemplated. I'm giving it a 5 out of 10, but of course we'll see in years to come what the actual rating is. Leave in the comments down below your feelings on Arsenal transfer window. You can be an Arsenal fan, a non-Arsenal fan, and if you're new around here, please consider subscribing on my road to 600. I'll catch you guys in the next video.